Hi everybody, I wanted to talk to you about eyepieces. When you get a scope like this, it tends to come with some eyepieces, and this is a fairly typical one. This is a 25mm eyepiece, and it's really good. It's not too bad, and a typical scope like this would come with a 25, possibly a 15, maybe a 10mm, and maybe a 6mm. And the way you work out what this is actually going to do is that the bigger the number here, the wider the field of view. So 25 here will give quite a wide field of view, and the way you work out how effective this eyepiece is you divide the focal length of the scope, so this one is 900, by the number here, obviously in the same units, so this is in millimeters, so 900mm divided by 25 is about 36. So this scope with this eyepiece gives a magnification of 36 times. So that's how you work it out. And as you get smaller eyepieces, this is a 9mm, so obviously 900 divided by 36 is a number that I can't work out, so I'm going to get my phone. That's 150, hooray! So in theory, and it's just started raining, which is rubbish, so I'm going to put my nice expensive lenses away. So of course it's going to start raining. We're talking about astronomy. When would it not rain with astronomy? Okay, so welcome to the kitchen. So we were talking about different eyepieces, and I wanted to show you the difference between the different types of lenses that we have, the different types of eyepieces. Now this is the bit that gives you the magnification. That's a 9mm there, and this one was a 25. So basically, as we said before, you divide your focal length of the telescope by the size of the eyepiece to get the magnification. So for a 25 with a 900mm scope, you will get 36. So 36 times magnification. But a lot of people ask, what's the difference between these two? Why can't you just go for one eyepiece? Well, the problem with the smaller eyepieces is that they have a huge amount of magnification, which makes it really difficult to find objects. So you tend to always need to start with a large eyepiece like this, a 25, to find the object that you're looking for. And then once it's centered in the scope, you use a barlow lens or a smaller eyepiece number to zoom in to get the detail. These ones which come free with your telescope are okay to get started with, but they're probably the first thing you're going to want to change, to upgrade, to improve. A good example, this is a 9mm eyepiece, and this is a better quality 6mm eyepiece. Sorry, I beg your pardon, a 5mm eyepiece. So that's got more glass in it, it's better made, and you can see the difference straight away. So this is a better quality eyepiece, and you can also see, if you look carefully, that's got quite a big piece of glass to look into, so it's much easier to use. That has got a tiny piece of glass to look into, so it's slightly harder to use. So you can see the difference there. What are the useful sizes of eyepieces? Well, I find the most useful sizes that I have of eyepieces tend to be just 3. So that's a 25mm, and that was the original 25mm. But when you look at the actual glass on them, they're not too dissimilar with these. They're quite the same size-ish, but that's a bigger, better quality eyepiece. So I tend to find you need a wide angle 25mm, which is that one. And you will probably want to get a 15 or something around 15mm. So this is a 15mm eyepiece. So that's a lovely 15mm. A a 25 or 15mm, and you can get a bit smaller. That's a bit zoomed in, it's 5mm. I tend not to use it very much. It's a planetary eyepiece, it's really good for looking at Venus, but I don't use it very often. I tend to use the 25, followed then by the 15, and then if I want to go even further, I use a 2x barlow lens. So that's a 2x barlow lens, and the way a barlow lens works is it fits in where the eyepiece would go, and then the actual eyepiece fits in there. And it's really important to remember that each time you change eyepieces or add a barlow lens, the focal point will have changed on the telescope. So you have to refocus every single time you put these in, which makes it quite confusing. The other thing that you'll find as well is if you are using a mobile phone mount, such as this is a Celestron XYZ phone mount. There are loads of different types, but this one's really good because you can adjust it and center on the actual eyepiece, which fits in there. You'll find that when you want to take photos, you'll want to use a barlow lens to zoom in a little bit to find the subject that you're wanting to take a photo of. So yes, that's eyepieces. I hope that's useful. The other thing with a scope like this is you can get Astro Cams, which fit. They're basically exactly the same sort of size as one of these, and it will just fit inside a barlow lens or into the eyepiece socket. You can then take videos of the moon or of the planets and stack those videos to create really nice pictures. So yes, that's where barlow lenses come in really handy. In particular, when you're doing planetary work, barlow lens is really useful because it allows you to zoom in a little bit. There are other methods of zooming in as well, but I only have barlow lenses, so you can use 2x barlow lens, and that will allow you to double the magnification capable on this scope, and you'll be able to increase the size of the planet that you're looking at. So I hope very much that was useful, and remember to like and subscribe if you can, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and take care.